What is up, y'all? It is your girl, Brand New, and I'm back in the building for a recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 10, episode 6. Let's get into it. This episode was crazy as hell. I have changed my opinions on a few things, and I will, state why. I will state why I changed my opinion on a couple of things, because there was a couple of parts in here, you guys. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I was looking at it like it was some bullshit. That Porsha apologizing to Kandi, I'm gonna get all into that. I didn't like that. I didn't like Cynthia getting up from the table about the Kenya situation. I didn't like that. That's your friend and all, but no ma'am. No ma'am. They have every right to question that bitch. That bitch has did so much shit, flirted with people's husbands. And yeah, there's a difference between being private and being secretive, and then we'll call him baby. We'll call my man this. Well, ain't nobody mad at him, man. You done got married while the show was off. Like, that bitch be doing her little stunts for TV. And they're questioning her about it because the bitch brought Walter on here. They wasn't even real life girlfriend, boyfriend. Like, nobody believed that shit. Everything the situation with Matt, look how that played out. You know what I'm saying? He called her fundamentally, manipulative and deceptive. So Kenya is not innocent. And yes, I caped for Kenya last recap, but certain shit she's just wrong on. She's just wrong. She's wrong how she's going about introducing them to this man. All that shit is just wrong. You have behavior reflects intentions. You have to watch your behavior, and that's go tell people about your motherfucking intentions. You know what I'm saying? You did all this secretive shit, and the shit that you did in the past is why people question you about your motherfucking marriage, Kenya. Why the fuck you don't know that? And Cynthia, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why you don't know that? Why you don't know that? People question people for certain reasons because the shit don't sound right. When NeNe came on this show, we saw she had a husband. We got introduced to him right away. We saw Kandi fall in love and marry her man. We saw even Porsha had her man on here. Everybody else, Cynthia and Peter, we saw the struggles with them, their financial issues. Everybody put their shit on the line. And you mean to motherfucker tell me Kenya gets a pass because she's always scrutinized and she's the motherfucking victim, and she was trying to come in between Phaedra and Apollo's relationship, flirting with Apollo and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying she was the only one wrong with the Apollo situation. Apollo was definitely wrong as well. But as a woman, you should carry yourself a lot better. So, Cynthia, you can miss me with that shit. I'll be getting in your ass, though. Let's get to this review, y'all. First off, the episode starts with NeNe talking with, she's not talking. She's yelling at Porsha, telling her to F you, and Kandi had your back. Marlo is trying to cover NeNe's mouth. Kenya, Kandi, and Cynthia and Marlo are walking NeNe to the elevator because she keeps, trying to get at Porsha. She's yelling, cussing, and screaming. Porsha is crying to Sheree, telling her the whole table has left with NeNe. And Porsha says that she's not a victim, but she feels the ladies are trying to break her down. They're coming at you like this, Porsha. I feel two ways about it. The first way I feel about it is I see why they're doing that, because Porsha, when it came to that situation between you and Phaedra and Kandi, you pretty much let Phaedra go down that hill by herself. And a lot of people will say, well, Phaedra let her go down by herself. My thing is this. You should have called out Phaedra when y'all was in Maui. Don't wait your ass all the way to the reunion. That looked very calculated. And you did not have to repeat the shit. If you knew the shit wasn't true, Porsha, you shouldn't have fucking repeated it. You don't repeat shit that you ain't heard yourself. Because anybody could say anything. And that's exactly what Phaedra said. She said, somebody told me. And then Porsha was like, but I asked you. But I asked you. And yeah, Phaedra was wrong for lying to her. I'm not saying that. But you, as a grown woman, you chose to repeat that motherfucking shit. So, Porsha, you have to stop being a little fucking girl and own your shit. I done already talked to your ass about this shit. Okay, so, you know, Porsha is upset. Everybody, you know, she feels like they are against her. And, you know, she says she's not used to that. You know why you're not used to it, Porsha? Because that motherfucking mammy of yours is more of your motherfucking friend than she is your motherfucking parent, bitch. I noticed that with y'all relationship. Your mother never corrects you and checks you on shit. She goes along with, and yes, you are a grown woman and you go do what you want to do anyways. But as a mother, you should always influence and try to say, well, hey, why don't you approach things like this? Why don't you do things like this? That's what a motherfucking mother does. What your friend do is say, girl, you look good. Girl, you thick. Oh, let's lose weight. Let's do that. Oh, girl. Yeah. When she talked to her motherfucking mother, what did she say? What did she say? She said, girl, when she was talking to her motherfucking mother. You don't do all that with your mother. It should be some, a fine line of, you know, respect. And yeah, you can have a good time with your mother and shit, but she ain't your motherfucking friend. And that's the problem. She never checked you on your shit. So anyways, she's still crying, you know, to Sheree about that. I don't agree with NeNe fighting Candy's battles and getting in between it. But ain't nobody else really go say shit about it. You know, ain't nobody else really go call Porsha to the carpet. Everybody was, well, Phaedra was so wrong and Phaedra should be out of here. And, you know, so I guess that's why NeNe stepped in. But I still am not a big fan of NeNe fighting Candy's battles because I feel like these bitches ain't really even cool. You're only cool because both of y'all ain't cool with Phaedra. Not with Phaedra, with Porsha. And anytime you get with, and that's that whole, you know, enemy of my enemy is a friend of mine, that fake ass shit, that person ain't really your motherfucking friend. That's what they're doing. And, I'm not here with the whole Candy is a victim. Candy, you are not innocent. You and your shady candy coated clique. Y'all be talking shit. Candy, your mother be talking shit. You don't be correcting her on a motherfucking thing. So I'm sick of Candy acting like she's such a victim in the Porsha and Phaedra situation. You are not a victim either. Nobody should have got fired for your ass because you was talking shit too. You've been talking shit this whole season with Carmen and Don Juan and laughing at Porsha, even laughing at Porsha in her face and shit. You would never do that shit with me, bitch, with your passive aggressive ass. You would not do it. And I just feel like Candy always wants somebody to kiss her ass and apologize to her. I'm so done with that. Okay, so Candy ends up mentioning at this time, you know, they are in the room and they talking about ordering a pizza because they didn't left before they food came. Y'all know that's an issue for Candy. Candy is happy that somebody else has drama with Porsha other than her, and her petty ass even said that. See, certain shit, even though I'm thinking it would never come out of my mouth. It wouldn't come out of my mouth because I don't need you to know my thoughts. If you know my thoughts, you know my actions, and then you can stop my actions. I would never share all that. And she talking about how her and NeNe has that in common. You know, y'all don't really, y'all don't really have anything in common, Candy. You don't really have nothing in common. It's just the Porsha thing. Because other than that, you and motherfucking, NeNe is normally motherfucking, enemies. So that's pretty much how that went. So next we have NeNe is talking with the girls in the room. And y'all know how they all sit around and Sheree is still with Porsha. So NeNe's issue, she's saying when it comes to Porsha, is she doesn't admit to anything and she blames people all the time. And then Marlo tries to say she recommends that one of the ladies sit down with Porsha and let her know, they all look at her like a little sister. NeNe says she's not a little sister. Shit, she's damn near 40 years old. NeNe mentions how Porsha said that she wanted her fired, and they play that motherfucking clip. I'm so sick of them playing that motherfucking clip. Everybody is saying, well, NeNe, you implied for her to get fired. I'm gonna let y'all have that. I guess she did, but guess what? Cynthia, she did the same shit to Cynthia, so I don't really want to hear that shit. And NeNe pretty much explained that how a caller called in and gave them a response of who, she wanted to know who should get fired, who they should let go. And NeNe said Porsha and Phaedra, freaking fraud. Kandi mentions Porsha and NeNe weren't cool at the time. And Porsha was also saying shit about NeNe on Dish Nation. I'm with you with that, Kandi, because at that time, Porsha was saying a lot of shit with Da Brat. So, Kandi was saying that Porsha shouldn't even be that mad, that NeNe said that she should be fired, because they was both saying shit at that time. NeNe mentions how she helped Porsha get a divorce with Randy Kessler, and she also helped her get a lawyer for the situation with her and Kenya. So, that's pretty much what NeNe was saying in terms of that. And Porsha is telling Sheree she feels like NeNe has got into it with everybody at the table. And she feels like NeNe wants her to give blood to be accepted. And Porsha says she's not kissing nobody's ass. Porsha, use a motherfucking lie, because you about to kiss some ass during this episode. Next, we got Sheree, Marlo, and Cynthia. They're going to hang with Porsha. Sheree decided to separate the girls today because it is, too much drama with NeNe and Porsha getting into it. Porsha talks to her mom, and her mom says, I can't believe that a 50-year-old woman acts like that with somebody she calls her baby sister. Bitch, she's not her baby sister anymore. Diane, you need to get yourself together. And Diane, which is Porsha's mother, you need to learn to keep it real with your daughter and tell her the truth. She, like I said, y'all, she tries too hard to be Porsha's friend. And Diane tells Porsha, don't talk with NeNe no more in front of the girls. And I agree with that. You go talk with somebody, talk, to the side. You don't need all the girls around. So anyways, the ladies all greet each other outside. It's the next day, and they are about to get on this trolley. And then NeNe hugs and greets everybody but Porsha. So, it's awkward. You could kind of tell that Porsha is kind of breaking down at this point, because it's like everybody left with NeNe, and she's vulnerable. She feels like everybody is against her. And I did feel bad for her. I do feel like, you guys, Porsha needs to mature in certain areas, but I don't like when they try to gang up all on her. Like, she does need to be responsible for the shit she does, but I'm glad that Sheree and Cynthia was still talking to her and still there with her. I can respect that. So anyways, when NeNe didn't greet Porsha, she gonna say in her confessional, she said, honey, I'm like Cardi B. If I see you and I don't speak, that means I don't fuck with you. And I was cracking the fuck up. NeNe, you's a motherfucking fool. Okay, so next we got Kenya. They're all on the trolley at this point. Kenya tells the girls that she will be leaving early to go to her grandmother's funeral. And at this time, I'm noticing Porsha tearing up. She's crying. And, she feels hurt too. And Porsha gets sad and, she's crying. She stands up and goes outside the trolley. And Cynthia follows her. And Cynthia says that, you know what? I'm bigger than the bullshit. If somebody's crying, I'm going to check on them. So that's what Cynthia does. I got respect for Cynthia, because she could have just sat there with the rest of them, but she did, reach out to Porsha. I'm all here for shit like that. Be your own woman, check on people, I was here for that. So anyways, Porsha tells Cynthia that she feels sad about Kenya's grandmother passing. You know, her uncle had just passed as well. And she just feels bad that that has happened and everything else that's going on in the group. You know, she feels bad. Ain't nobody speaking to her and everything is just bad right now, you know. And then they go to Candy and them, how they on the trolley saying stuff. And Candy says, I guess Porsha is emotional about something. Marlo says that she's emotional because you guys are not talking to her. And then Cynthia mentions to Porsha how NeNe tried to get her fired as well. And they play that clip of NeNe saying that Cynthia doesn't really bring anything to the show. I mean, what does she bring? You know, what are they really talking about when it comes to her? And, you know, NeNe, you my bitch, but you was shady as fuck for that. But like I said, you guys, when you fall out with these women that's your so-called best friends, they do little shit, little petty ass shit like that. But the shit don't work because you bitches are still on the show. Anyway, Cynthia tells Porsha that they were not friends for a couple of years after that. And Cynthia feels like Porsha needs to forgive NeNe and move on. And Porsha says, I definitely feel like NeNe, you know, was there for me, you know, and I do feel bad what has happened between us. Porsha, I don't know so much you feel all that bad. I think you feel bad more or less because nobody's really talking to you and you like the eyeball out, which is kind of embarrassing. I think that's more or less how you feel, but I don't really feel like you want to be really good friends with NeNe, which is not bad. You know, y'all know I love NeNe, but I understand if certain people may not want to be friends with certain people. I'm open like that. I could see that. I understand that. But yeah, Porsha, you said a lot of shit about NeNe on This Nation with the brat, and you was talking about how somebody was trying to speak a curse onto you and all this shit. Well, nobody trying to speak no curse. They was just trying to give you the real. You cannot go around fighting people and think you go keep jobs and think you go stay on the show. So that's pretty much how NeNe was trying to help you. And you didn't want to receive it at the time. Just admit that. Like, if she really would have admitted that shit, then I would have been here for it. Now that the ladies are not fucking with Porsha, it's fucking with Porsha. Like I said, you know, now that they ain't fucking with her, nobody's really talking to her. That's why she's breaking down. I don't feel it's completely guilt or I feel so bad. I'm not saying she should feel so bad, but I think that's more or less what it is. So next, Cynthia tells Porsha to give NeNe a minute on, you know, you talking to her and stuff, because you don't want y'all to be two pit bulls trying to talk and, you know, y'all get into it again. And she just tells Porsha to acknowledge, you know, that NeNe was there for her and to apologize so they can move on. And I really liked their talk that they had. And NeNe tells the girls that she cared for Porsha, but Porsha didn't care for her in the same way. NeNe, I have to agree with you. I don't think that Porsha cared for you in that same way. She cared more for Phaedra. I think Phaedra is more her speed. Like I said, you guys, I really like NeNe, but she does come off as being dominant, you know, in her friendships. And not everybody feels comfortable with that. Okay, so the ladies stop and take a pig behind an Alcatraz prison. And then, so at this time, you know, they're off the trolley and stuff. And NeNe makes a joke about Sheree's man being in the prison and says she's all for Sheree finding love with Prison Bae. And Candy asks NeNe, why was she shocked Sheree was dating Tyrone? You know, she noticed NeNe was kind of shocked by that. And NeNe says that she met him before Sheree and he is a con artist. Candy asks, how do you know? Did he con you? And NeNe says, no, I'm too smart for all that. NeNe said that she knows something was wrong with him. And then she ended up finding out that he conned a company out of $4 million. Candy says that she hopes that Tyrone does not con Sheree out of Chateau Sheree. And I hope he does not con your ass either, Sheree. You seem to have the worst luck with men. I'm not sure, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but I'm not sure if it was a good idea for her to date somebody in prison. Like, I would date other people. You could still kind of be friends with the person, but I would kind of wait till his ass got out. because I just feel like it's too complicated. You could be spending time with other people, but this is what Sheree wants. So, okay, so Kenya says that Chateau Sheree is not even in Sheree's name for Tyrone to con her out of it. And that was funny because I think they tried to say a while back that it is in Miss Thelma's name, honey. So next, Sheree, Marlo, and Porsha talk about how Kenya is going through so much and they really want to throw her a party. Which is really, that's going to be good, you know, because Kenya is going through so much. But it's really not going to be a party. They said that they should just throw her a fake wedding since none of them was invited to her wedding. And then Porsha feels like Kenya may be offended with the wedding, thinking it's shady, or she may appreciate it and think it's fun and, you know, a funny gesture that they put this together. So Marlo calls NeNe on the phone and asks her to officiate the wedding. NeNe says who's going to be the husband. Marlo says that they could find somebody to fake be her husband. She should be used to that. Marlo, this is why motherfucking Marlo should be on the motherfucking show, bitch. This is why she should be on the motherfucking floor. I said on the floor. She should be on the motherfucking show because that's the perfect shade. And it's true. This bitch do be having fake boyfriends and now you can't meet her man. And you know, this is what the fuck I'm talking about, y'all. This is why people don't believe Kenya is really married. This is why they don't take the shit seriously. This is why they continue to shade her because she plays right into the bullshit. Anyways, they ask, should they tell Cynthia? NeNe says, no, you should surprise them both. And y'all know why she said that, because Cynthia is going to have an issue with them putting something together for Kenya and being funny with it. Y'all know Cynthia is Kenya's puppet at this moment. So anyways, we got Sheree, Porsha, and Marlo. They shop for the wedding. Marlo tells Candy they are redoing Kenya's wedding, and Candy says, is the husband coming? And then Marlo says, yes, he'll be here in a few. And then she's like, really? And Marlo's like, yeah, he'll be here. And it turns out Porsha shows up, and it's a motherfucking cardboard box type husband. When I tell you I was motherfucking laughing my ass off when I saw that fake ass husband. And Marlo says if Kenya doesn't like the wedding, that, she's going to drag Porsha, NeNe, and Sheree with her. And she going to tell that motherfucking Porsha. She said that Porsha already has a bad rep. So Kenya's not going to believe her. Shady as fuck. This is what I'm saying, you guys. You can say what the fuck you want about motherfucking Marlo, but she brings a lot to the motherfucking show. Because, yeah, Porsha, at this time, you do have a bad rap. But, all of you bitches honestly have fell out if I really think about it. So, yeah, it's Porsha right now, but, it's been all you bitches at one time or another that has had a bad rap, so she ain't alone. Anyways, Kenya comes in, she's all surprised and walking down the aisle. She feels it's stupid, but decides, to go along with it. NeNe officiates the wedding, asking Kenya, does she take her man to be her lawfully wedded husband through richness and richness. I was cracking the fuck up. It's supposed to be richer and poor, but no, these bitches want the money. And through restaurant and restaurant, I was cracking the fuck up when she said that. And I was looking at Cynthia like, shit, they should have gave you them vows, Cynthia, through restaurant, through club, because your motherfucking ass had to get your ass away from Peter because he was opening them motherfuckers up like Tim off Sweetie Pie. Just bam, 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 bam. Okay, so next. They have Porsha. She got the man. And Porsha drops the man on purpose, just trying to be funny. Everybody's acting silly and funny at the motherfucking wedding. And they all begin looking at her crazy. And Candy talking about, well, you only had one job, Porsha. Jeez. She can have a good time, Candy. Damn. These bitches want to control everything you do. Candy, shut your motherfucking mouth. It just irritated the fuck out of me. You know, and everybody was kind of looking at Porsha at this time, and I kind of felt bad for her, because I'm like, wow, once again, she's the odd man out. She can't, you know, and I get that she at first didn't really take accountability for that situation, but y'all can't hold that over on nobody's head all the time. People are people. She see y'all having a good time. She want to have a good motherfucking time. So anyways, they put a fake ring on Kenya, and she kisses the fake man. And I noticed she's kissing him the way she do them motherfucking dogs, and got her motherfucking tongue out with her nasty ass. Next we have, after the wedding, Porsha goes up to Candy and apologizes. I'm looking like, what the fuck for? What the fuck for? Why are you kissing Candy's ass? Didn't you say you don't really owe her an apology like that, and she's not a victim? When you do shit like this, Porsha, they go hold this shit over your head. They've already been, well, you were so wrong for how you did Candy, and that was just so wrong. You shouldn't have did that, and that was just the worst thing. And oh my God, what about the shit Candy has did and her Mama Joyce, Candy Coated Click? All it, like, come on. I'm sick of everybody when Candy's crybaby feelings fucking get hurt. She needs an apology 10 times over. So I wouldn't have gave her. You's a better motherfucking woman than me, Porsha. I think you did it more on a professional level so you wouldn't feel uncomfortable during taping. I understand that. Everybody wants to feel comfortable when they are with people for a long amount of time. It motherfucking wouldn't have been me. We would have been some uncomfortable bitches up in there, because I ain't gonna apologize to your dusty, passive-aggressive, bitch-ass, fuck you, bitch. And I'm sorry, y'all, that's just me. The bitch wouldn't have got shit. Because when you keep kissing Candy's ass, apologizing to her, it's gonna be that next motherfucking thing she used to hold over your motherfucking head. So, But anyway, kudos to you, Porsha, because I wouldn't have did it. Next, the ladies head to Napa to drink wine. Okay, so I noticed that they got to get on this motherfucking train. I noticed Kenya still got the motherfucking dogs with her. Bitch, you have a man now. You don't need to keep playing with the dogs to get off. I mean, come on. Like, that shit she just like white people. Y'all know how white people take their dog everywhere with them. That's Kenya's ass. Taking them motherfucking dogs. Talking about some, yeah, it's a hard work having husband and kids. Dogs are not kids, bitch. I don't know what the fuck wrong with Kenya, y'all. She done lost her marbles. Anyways, Porsha had went to the bathroom. Everybody else is settled in their seat. And she stuck sitting across from Kenya and Candy, which is the last motherfucker she want to sit with, because she don't like them like that. She sit down and puts on her big girl panties. Porsha, you had a lot to deal with in this episode, and I gotta hand it to you. You really got yourself together. I dragged your ass earlier, but you held it the fuck together. And that's the Porsha that I want to get to know more of. Because I like that about you, how it don't matter what the fuck going on. You know how to fit in when you need to. So I like that. So, anyways, Kenya asked Porsha, how long has she been vegan? Porsha said 3 weeks. Candy laughs. If you don't fuck with somebody, why are you laughing at the shit that they say? The shit they say or do, it should not have any effect on you. It be shit like that, y'all, that I just don't like. Anyways, Porsha said that she was 175 pounds. And Candy go say some, yeah, girl, you was kind of chunky. Candy, let me dig into your motherfucking ass. She looks better than you. She looks way fucking better than you. I have actually seen you look fat on this show several times. I have never seen Porsha look fat. She may have looked thick, but I've never seen motherfucking Porsha look fat. You have looked bad a few times, Candy. And you got a lot of motherfucking nerve, because you can't talk about nobody's weight. You about the biggest of the cast, honestly. So I'm sorry, y'all. I was offended by that. Well, you was getting chunky. 175 is really not that big for somebody that's Porsha's height, because she can carry it well. It's when you are Candy and Phaedra's height, and even my height, I'm short. You know, when you gain weight and you about our height, you look bigger than what you fucking are. You know what I'm saying? So, Candy, you shouldn't have said shit, because that girl, we could say what the fuck we want about Porsha, but I have never seen that bitch take a day off. In the fashion department, in the body department, she works out. So who gives a fuck if she's only been vegan for a few weeks, or if she put on weight? Who cares? Girl, bye. Next, that fake ass Kenya gets to talking about her imaginary husband that we ain't never met. That's annoying as fuck to me. Let me get into your ass, Kenya. Bitch, I don't want to hear about a man I ain't seen on my motherfucking TV screen. You the same bitch that was on the ash machine talking to him. You keep giving us crumbs, bitch. We want a full plate. Okay, we're grown. She playing with us like we kids. Keep talking about him, saying that her husband, they was talking about body size because of what Porsha and Candy was talking about. And she talking about, well, my husband, he likes me small, because I'm more toned when I'm small. Shut the fuck up, Kenyon. Then she talking about she notices when she's at home with him, she has to kind of tone it down because, she is a alpha woman and she can't be acting like that around her husband and shit. Girl, I don't want to keep hearing about his ass until he's on the fucking TV screen because I'm getting annoyed. Next, Marlo is, at their little, area with Sheree, and she asked Sheree, you dating somebody, Sheree? And Sheree says, yes, I am. He's incarcerated. And NeNe said, is Tyrone gonna be tricking though? And then Sheree she just like, trick it. And then NeNe was like, well, yeah, he tricked the stocks before he went in, right? And Sheree said it wasn't stocks, though. It was securities fraud, wire fraud. And NeNe said being a con artist is being a motherfucking con artist. Shit, ain't no nice way to say that shit. He's a con artist. I'm with you, NeNe, because he is a motherfucking con artist. And Sheree, if you go date that type of man, sweetie, you got to be ready, honey. You got to own that you're dating a con artist. Yes. So next, Porsha asks Candy how her group doing. Porsha, I wouldn't ask that bitch shit, but like I said, you's a better motherfucking woman than me. So Candy says, we're good. We're going on tour. We was able to work out our issues. And Candy says in her confessional, she wants to be an adult and not go a whole hour without talking to Porsha. And, use a flip-flopper. My thing is this. While you're talking to her, you need to be letting that bullshit go that you are still mad about and how you thought that they had called you a rape. We don't think, nobody thought you were a fucking rapist. If people want to think things about you, Candy, guess what, bitch? They're gonna fucking think it anyways because that's what they want to think. But ain't nobody ever saw you as no fucking rapist. It don't matter what Phaedra or Porsha said. So you can miss me with still being mad at Porsha and still, and I'm not saying be her best friend, but make conversation, keep it moving. Don't keep being fucking shady. So anyways, NeNe calls Candy over to the table. Candy tells the girls that Porsha, pulled her to the side because they had asked her, well, what did Porsha pull you to the side for? And Candy was like, well, yeah, she, did that to apologize and to take accountability for her actions and the situation that went down with Phaedra. And then they was like, well, Candy, what did you say? And I just said, okay. You said more than that, Candy. And like I said, if you go deal with her, you go deal with her. If you ain't, stop fucking talking about it. And I think that Candy will forgive Porsha because she was doing quite a bit of talking to her. If I don't fuck with a bitch, you ain't gonna be able to get 2 words out of my ass. I don't give a fuck if some cameras is in my face or not. So next we got Porsha asks, Kenya, is she a connoisseur of wine? Here go Kenya rambling on about this imaginary, unidentifiable motherfucker that we ain't never motherfucking met. Oh, well, Mark is, and, I've learned so much from him, and, and I really, I've learned to take responsibility for things. And so, wait a minute, it took you to get a man to take responsibility for your motherfucking actions? Bitch, please. It shouldn't have taken that. It always takes some dick for a weak ass bitch to get her shit together. And that's not just Kenya. That's a lot of bitches out in the world, I noticed. Next, when she was talking to Porsha, I was just like, next, I'm over it. Porsha tells Kenya that she's taking accountability for the situation with Kandi and how she apologized to her. Porsha, why are we talking to a bitch that we a few years back had to drag on stage because she was provoking us with her motherfucking mouth? It wouldn't have been me, y'all. Porsha was really being mature. It just wouldn't have been me. You don't owe Kenya shit. You don't need to explain shit to her. Fuck that bitch too. And then Kenya said that Porsha's relationship with Kandi and NeNe was a great thing when she was cool with them, and she just needs to learn to listen to them. Girl, shut up. You ain't even in it. Kenya says that actions show people if you're remorseful for the things that you did. So Porsha saying this stuff, it doesn't mean anything until she sees her actions. You the same bitch that tried to fuck somebody's husband, then you provoked Porsha with a bullhorn. She dragged your motherfucking ass across the stage. Then you keep having these fake ass relationships, just like you was with Matt last season, doing a fake ass abuse storyline. Like, Kenya, you the last motherfucking person that should be giving anybody any advice on accountability and anything. Like, shit, that whole scene annoyed the fuck out of me. Porsha, what the fuck is wrong with you, sis? So anyways, the ladies meet with this guy in the vineyard, and Porsha opens a bottle of wine with like this long sword looking knife thing. They all drink, walk around the vineyard, and the man feeds the ladies grape. Then when he feeds Marlo, she puts like all the grapes in her mouth like she's sucking a dick or something. I'm just like, damn. Then Sheree says, we were wondering how she got those designer labels. And Sheree says, we know how she got them now. Everybody was laughing, having a good time. And, it was really nice to see them all letting go, having a good time. Then the man says he's married. And then Porsha made a big deal, talking about some, oh, why you married, doing all this? You can't be feeding me. Then the man says he's gonna suck their toes after they done smashing the grapes. Nasty ass man. Okay, then they all smashed the grapes with their feet except for Kandi and NeNe. And then Sheree and Kenya hug because Kenya has to leave for her grandma's funeral. So Kenya tells everybody bye and leaves for that. And the ladies sit down at a wine tasting, and they taste wine that is made by John Legend. NeNe says that the wine is good and all, but she won't be heading to social media anytime soon asking who I can blow for a case of that wine. That was funny as shit. And that was shade towards Kim punk ass for doing that dumbass shit. Sheree toasts Kandi for getting the cover of Essence. And then Kandi brings up how her and Ty went by Mark's, which is Kenya's supposed to be husband, his restaurant. Kandi says she didn't go in because she didn't want to get killed by Kenya. Kandi says that every time she asks Kenya about her husband, Kenya is very secretive though. So Kandi notices some shit is off. Then Kenya begins doing this motherfucking eulogy on how, and she's speaking for Kenya, the way NeNe said. It didn't look like that last week, but this week she's definitely speaking for Kenya, saying that these girls always shame Kenya when it comes to her man, and she gets scrutinized the most. Cynthia, please sit your motherfucking ass down, because this bitch has lied about having a man, and she's always trying to flirt with other people's men. So she has made her bed on that issue, and the bitch need to lie in it. So, and she approached this whole situation with Mark the wrong way. Should have introduced him. You could have been lighthearted with it. The other husbands don't film all like that. You could have just introduced him, went the fuck on, let him live in New York, you in Atlanta. There's a way to do things so it don't look funny, okay? So you pretty much set your own self up for this shit. And so next, we have Marlo. She pretty much asks everybody, who all believes if Kenya is married? You know, because she's just like, it just bothers her that she has never met Kenya's husband. Cynthia says that she wants to meet him, but that's only when Kenya is ready. And Cynthia said, you know, she's really good friends with Kenya. And Marlo said, you ain't that good of a friend because your ass wasn't invited to the wedding. And, you know, so they, matter of fact, they did that. And then Marlo told them to put their hands up if they believe Kenya is married. Cynthia walks out. Saying she doesn't want to hear no shit about Kenya. Marlo called her sensitive, and NeNe says, pretty much, if Kenya asks Cynthia to jump, Cynthia will say how high, and NeNe, Candy says she likes Kenya and Cynthia's friendship, and, you know, she's just taking up for her. And NeNe and Marlo and them, they don't want to hear that shit. But NeNe goes to talk to Cynthia, and Cynthia tells the girls, I don't like how these girls question Kenya, you know, about her marriage. And then NeNe says that you're not her mom, Cynthia. You can't tell them they can't ask her questions. And then Cynthia, you know, ends up coming back to the table, and Marlo asks why she left. Cynthia says that it would have been nice if she was at the wedding, and, you know, but she didn't get to go, and she will wait for Kenya to introduce her to her husband when she's ready. So that's pretty much how that ended. Things are going to take off some more next week. This is your girl Brand New. I gave y'all a long motherfucking review. You make sure you listen to it today because I had a lot of shit to get off my chest. But don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl Brand New, and I am out.